everyone, this is Gayatri. Welcome you all to Bioschool. So in today's session, we are going to talk about Frank-Starling law. Thank you all for joining me today, and if you have not subscribed my channel yet, then please do subscribe and stay connected for more informative videos in upcoming days. In this session, we are going to discuss about Frank-Starling law. We'll see what Frank-Starling law it states and what are the factors that affects the Frank-Starling law and its cause. At the end, we are going to solve a CSIR net question related to Frank-Starling law. So let's get started. So this is what we discussed in our last session, and in case if you missed that video, don't worry, you will get the link in the description box down below and suggested box above. So please do watch that video too. We have focused on the cardiac output, and we see the stroke volume as well as what are the factors that affect the stroke volume in details about the preload, contractility and afterload. Frank-Starling law, it shows the relation between the end diastolic volume and the stroke volume. Frank-Starling law, it shows the relationship with the end diastolic volume and stroke volume. So the today's session, it is the part of previous session. So please do watch that video too. So let's see what Frank-Starling law states. Why it is named as Frank-Starling law, or it is also called as the Starling law. It is named after the two physiologists Otto Frank and Ernst Henry Starling. Both of these physiologists, they worked independently. Frank, he is a German doctor, and Starling, he is from British. Frank, he worked on frog heart, and whereas the Starling, he works on dog's heart. Okay, they worked independently, and their work or their idea, it shows the relationship between changes in end diastolic volume and stroke volume. Changes in the end diastolic volume and stroke volume. As the left ventricular end diastolic volume increases, thereby the stroke volume is also increases. First, if you don't know what is end diastolic volume, so let me clear you about that first. End diastolic volume is the volume of blood that left in the ventricle before ventricle's contraction, and it is about 130 ml. As the end diastolic volume or the blood volume, it increases in the left ventricular. Okay, if the blood volume it is increases or the end diastolic volume is higher in the left ventricle, then the stroke volume. What is stroke volume? Stroke volume is the amount of blood that is ejected from ventricle per beat. Okay, so this law or the Frank-Starling law, it tells that if the left ventricular end diastolic volume, I can write it as like this, LV EDV, right? Left ventricular end diastolic volume increases, so the stroke volume or the volume of blood ejected from the ventricle per beat is also increases. So how? The blood to the left ventricle, it will come from the pulmonary vein, it will enter into left atrium. Then from the left atrium, the blood, it will enter into left ventricle, right? So as the volume of blood increases, thereby end diastolic volume, it will also increases. It causes the preload or stretching of the heart muscles or myofibril. Okay, it will cause the stretching of myofibril. As the volume of blood increases, that causes the stretching of myofibrils. So as the myofibrils they stretch, then when the myofibril they contracted, then the mechanical pressure it will also increase. As the mechanical pressure increases, then the contraction rate it will be the more. Of course, the contraction rate will be more, and the more amount of blood that will be ejected from the ventricle. And the blood that is ejected from the ventricle per beat is known as the stroke volume. It is the stroke volume. Now you understand? If the end diastolic volume increases, then if volume increases, then the myofibril it will stretch and their contraction will be more, as the contraction will be more, then more amount of blood that will be ejected from the ventricle, that is known as the stroke volume. Okay. So changes in the contractility that will shift the stroke volume and end diastolic volume curve to either right direction or left direction. You know, the contraction of the heart, it of course depends on the nervous system. Okay, like sympathetic nervous system, parasympathetic nervous system, also on some drugs, also some on ions, hormones, all these factors that affect the contractility that we have discussed in our last session. Okay, now we'll see what are the factors that affect the Frank-Starling curve or the end diastolic volume and stroke volume curve. First we'll see the positive inotropic agents. Positive inotropic agents means the agents that will increase the contraction of heart. So what is that? First one is the sympathetic nervous system. Sympathetic nervous system, it secretes the epinephrine and norepinephrine that will bind to the beta adrenergic receptor. That thereby it will increase the influx of calcium ion, and it will act as a positive inotropic agent. And in turn, the parasympathetic nervous system, they act as a negative inotropic agent. Cardiac glycoside like digoxin, these are useful in treatment of congestive heart failure. These glycosides or these cardiac glycoside drugs, they increase the contractibility of heart by reducing the heart rate. Reduced sodium concentration, increase the rate of heartbeat. Also, they increase the intracellular calcium concentration. All these factors, they increase the contractibility of heart. If the contractibility of heart increases, then the stroke volume will also increase, and the curve, okay, the end diastolic volume and systolic volume curve, that will move to the right. Okay, now we'll see the negative inotropic agents. Negative inotropic agent, they will weak the contractibility of heart, okay, or the heart contraction, it will decreases by the parasympathetic nervous system, or if the calcium concentration inside the cell reduced, also the contractibility will reduced. Okay, and there is a presence of high rate of sodium and potassium concentration, they also act as a negative inotropic agents. If heart rate is reduced, then that will also negatively affect the contractibility. Okay, so in this case, the stroke volume and end diastolic volume curve, or Frank-Starling law, or that curve, it will changes in the contractibility and it will shift to the left. It will shift to the left over here. Okay, so in short, Frank-Starling law, it shows the relationship between end diastolic volume and stroke volume. If end diastolic volume increases, then stroke volume increases. If it is affected by the positive inotropic agent, then the curve, it will move upward, or the contractility, it will increase. If it is affected by negative inotropic agents, then contractility, it will decrease, and the curve, it will move to the left or downward. Okay? So this is very simple, and it is the basic concept of Frank-Starling law. Now we'll see a question related to this. So this is the question from Frank-Starling law. It was asked in the CSIR examination, and this question, it carries 4 marks. Let's see the question. It is asking about the changes in left ventricular stroke volume. Changes in the stroke volume according to different left ventricular end diastolic pressure, which indicate the initial myocardial fiber length in a dog under controlled condition were recorded, which follows the Starling law of the heart. The LVSW and LVEDP relationship was investigated in same dog after constant infusion of norepinephrine, and these data sets were plotted. Which one of the following graphs correctly represent the results obtained? Okay, so this question is asking about first the end diastolic volume and stroke volume. It is recorded in a dog in control condition. Okay, and that is represented by the solid line. And in the next step, the same dog, it was injected with the norepinephrine. And again, the relationship between end diastolic volume and stroke volume was plotted. So, which one of the graph that correctly represents? Okay, in the next step, it is injected by the norepinephrine. So, norepinephrine, it is a positive inotropic agent or negative inotropic agent? Yes, it is a positive inotropic agent. As it is a positive inotropic agent, so contractility of myofibril, it will increase. As the contractility increases, thereby the stroke volume will also increase, right? See, this one is very simple and it carries 4 marks. We can solve it easily now, right? So, if by the treatment of the norepinephrine, it will increase. See where it is increased? No, not here. See, option B. The solid line, it represents the control, and the dotted line, it represents the norepinephrine. By injecting norepinephrine, stroke volume, it will increases. Okay, this one is wrong. The correct answer is option B. Thank you all for joining me today. If you love my work, then please give thumbs up, and if you have any questions, suggestion and request, then please put a comment down below. I will get back to you as soon as possible. In our upcoming video, we will see the regulation of heart rate. What are the factors that regulate the heart rate and how it affects the cardiac output? So please stay connected and press the bell icon so that you will get notification. Bye bye. See you in my next video. Stay happy, stay healthy.